Okay, hello, and welcome to day 65, I think. I was 164.2 this morning, which is kind of a surprise because I was 167 point something yesterday. I was 167 yesterday. But, anyways, I have my breakfast here. So what I want to get done today. Oh, today's also push, so chest, shoulders, triceps. And today's the day that I just blast my triceps. And by blast my triceps, that means it gets 3 exercises instead of 2. What else? Oh yeah, what I want to get done today is hit the gym and macros and cardio, and stretch. I want to edit my video, hopefully. Edit my video and go to sleep on time are interchangeable. I want to do homework, of course. I want to read, and yeah, I think that's all the things I want to get done today. It's like 11, or it's probably like 12 right now, honestly. So I think I'll have my oatmeal right after this, and then I'll probably eat my chicken meal at like 2 or 3, and then I'll just let my food digest by the time I get to the gym, and hopefully have my ground beef and sweet potatoes and asparagus meal at night. But anyways, here's the macros for this meal. And let me show you. Here's the 4 eggs, 84 grams of egg whites, spinach, my bread, my turkey bacon cheese, and my cheeky yogurt bowl. This yogurt bowl looks really good. And yeah, I didn't have my yogurt bowl yesterday, so I'm pretty excited to eat that. But I believe that's it for now. So I'll see y'all when I'm eating my second meal. I'll show a picture of my oatmeal. I'll include it in the macros that I just showed for breakfast, and yeah, I'll update y'all on what I've done today when I'm eating my second meal. Goodbye. Okay, so some choices were made, and they were not the wisest choices, is what I'm gonna say. So basically, I was working on my accounting homework, and then the evil urge to take a nap took over me. So I took a nap, and I woke up not too long ago. So, which I guess is not too bad because I ran out of potatoes anyways, so I wasn't going to be able to make my chicken meal, which is why I have what I'm eating right now, which is something I haven't eaten in literally forever, it feels like. But it works because I still have calories for my last meal, which honestly might just be a yogurt bowl because I do have to try and be asleep early. But yeah, so I only have like an hour to do the things that I need to do, which is take out the trash, which shouldn't take too long, read, which should take like maybe 30 minutes max if you include the video, and then yeah, I'll get ready for the gym. I was gonna try and do homework before I did this, but my homework assignments weren't loading, which is weird. So, but yeah, anyways, so I'm having cereal, so let me show y'all. Okay, I don't know if I ended the video or not, but here's my bowl of cereal. It's a pretty big bowl, but it's just a bunch of carbs before the gym, so it's okay. But here's the macros for this bowl, and I will see y'all when I am talking about what I read. Goodbye. Okay, try to ignore my dog barking, but I did my reading for today, and it was 2 interesting chapters. It was chapters 21 and 22. So chapter 21 starts with victory over Arad. So basically it says the Canaanite king of Arad, who ruled over the Negev, heard that the Israelites were coming along the way of Otharim, and he engaged Israel in battle and took some of them captive. Israel then made this vow to the Lord: if you deliver this people into my hand, I will put their cities under the ban. And the Lord paid attention to Israel and delivered up the Canaanites, and they put them and their cities under the ban. Hence that place was named Hormah. So they basically are victorious over Arad, king of Arad, or the king of Arad. Next is the bronze serpent. So they're basically traveling, right? And then the people complain against God and Moses, saying that they've brought them out of Egypt to die in the wilderness, where there's no food or water, and that they're disgusted with the wretched food they've been given. And then so the Lord sends, I think in the Spanish Bible that I read, it said like winding serpents, or like serpents that like wrap up against you, basically, which bit the people so that many of the Israelites died. Then the people came to Moses and said, "We have sinned in complaining against the Lord, and you pray to the Lord to take the serpents from us." So Moses prayed for the people, and the Lord said to Moses, "Make a seraph and mount it on a pole, and everyone who has been bitten will look at it and recover." And so accordingly, Moses made a bronze serpent and mounted it on a pole, and whoever was bitten by a serpent would look at it and be recovered. So, and then the next part was the journey around Moab. So basically, the Israelites are journeying, and I think that's all that happens. It's just listing like the locations that they go on and the places that they camp, and and it says like a song that they sing when they reach like a certain location, where the Lord said to Moses, "Gather the people together so that I may give them water." And then the next part is the victory over Sihon. So basically Israel sends a messenger to Sihon, king of the Amorites, asking him to let him pass through like their land. And they say, like, "We won't take anything from your fields, we won't drink any of your water, we'll go straight through until we've passed through your territory." But Sihon doesn't let the Israelites pass, and he takes up all his forces and advances against Israel into the wilderness. And then basically, since the Lord is with Israel, it says, "But Israel put him to the sword and took possession of his land from the Arnon to the Jabbok, and as far as Jazer of the Ammonites, for Jazer is the boundary of the Ammonites. And Israel seized all the towns here, and Israel settled in all the towns of the Amorites in Heshbon and all its dependencies." So basically, Israel just absolutely destroys Sihon for trying to wipe them out. And then after that, the next part is called Victory over Og. It says, "Then they turned and went up along the roads of Bashan, but Og, king of Bashan, advanced against them with all his forces to give battle at Edrei. The Lord, however, said to Moses, 'Do not fear him, for into your hand I deliver with him all his forces and his land. You will do to him as you did to Sihon, king of the Amorites, who reigned in Heshbon.' So they struck him down with his sons and all his forces until not a survivor was left to him, and they took possession of his land." So, yeah, pretty successful chapter for the Israelites. If you ignore the part where they were bitten up by serpents, and a lot of them were wiped out for complaining against the Lord about being saved from Egypt. But chapter 22 was a little more confusing because it takes the focus away from the Israelites. So I'll read this explanation and I'll go into detail of like certain parts. So Numbers chapter 22 is a story about King Balak of Moab, who hires the prophet Balaam to curse the Israelites out of fear for his people. So Balak is basically, he hears about all the Israelites and how they've just been conquering everyone and how they're numerous. So he reaches out to Balaam, to the prophet Balaam, to curse his people so that he can have a chance of wiping the Israelites out. And basically, the Lord speaks to Balaam and says, where is it? Yeah, God said to Balaam, "Do not go with them and do not curse this people, for they are blessed." So he says, when he says do not go with them, it's because Balak sent like messengers or like princes, I think, to basically relay this message, bring Balaam with them to curse the Israelites. And God says, "Do not go with them and do not curse this people, for they are blessed." He's talking about the Israelites. And the next morning Balaam arose and told the princes of Balak, "Go back to your own country, for the Lord has refused to let me go with you." So the princes of Moab went back to Balak with a report. Balaam refused to come with us. And so then comes the second appeal to Balaam, where Balak sends more princes who were more numerous and more distinguished than the others. and he basically offers him, like, he just says, like, I'll give you anything you want, like just come and lay a curse on this people, on the Israelites. And then Balaam replies to the servants and says, even if Balak gave me his house full of silver and gold, I could not do anything small or great, contrary to the command of the Lord my God. So he's staying loyal to the Lord, basically, which is good. And it says, but you two stay here overnight so that I may learn what else the Lord may say to me. So he's not like rejecting them outright. He's not saying, like, just leave. He's saying, stay overnight. If the Lord speaks to me and tells me something, I'll let you know in the morning. And so that night, God came to Balaam and said to him, if these men have come to summon you, go back with them, yet only on the condition that you do exactly as I tell you. So the Lord's basically allowing him to go, but only on the condition that he does as he says. So the next morning when Balaam arose, he saddled his donkey and went off with the princes of Moab. And so the next part is titled The Talking Donkey. So let me see what it says on the chapter is famous for the miracle of Balaam's donkey speaking to him, revealing God's intervention to protect Israel. The overall meaning centers on divine protection, showing that God's people cannot be cursed by human will. It also explores divine intervention, moral integrity, and the idea that God can use unexpected means, like a donkey, to get his message across. So yeah, basically, it says, but now God's anger flared up at him for going, and the angel of the Lord took up a position on the road as his adversary. As Balaam was riding along on his donkey, accompanied by two of his servants, the donkey saw the angel of the Lord standing in the road with the sword drawn, and the donkey turned off the road and went into the field, and Balaam beat the donkey to bring her back on the road. Then the angel of the Lord stood in a narrow lane between vineyards with a stone wall on each side. When the donkey saw the angel of the Lord there, she pressed against the wall, and since she squeezed Balaam's leg against the wall, he beat her again. And then it says, then the angel of the Lord again went ahead and stood next in a passage so narrow that there was no room to move neither to the right nor to the left. When the donkey saw the angel of the Lord there, she lay down under Balaam. Balaam's anger flared up, and he beat the donkey with his stick. So basically, the donkey is seeing, like, the Lord's angel in the way, like, with its sword drawn, and he's refusing to confront it, basically. But Balaam can't see this, and every time his donkey doesn't listen, he beats it with a stick. And then it says, then the Lord opened the mouth of the donkey, and she asked Balaam. When it says she, it means like the female donkey. What have I done to you that you beat me these 3 times? You have acted so willfully against me, said Balaam to the donkey. Oh, wait. Oh yeah, okay, so this is Balaam speaking. He says, you've acted so willfully against me, said Balaam to the donkey, that if only I had a sword at hand, I would kill you here and now. So he's basically telling the donkey, like, you just haven't listened to me whatsoever. If I had a sword, I would kill you right now. But the donkey said to Balaam, am I not your donkey on which you have always ridden up until now? Have I been in the habit of treating you this way before? So he's basically saying, when have I ever done this before? Like the donkey's saying that. And Balaam replies, no. Then the Lord opened Balaam's eyes so that he saw the angel of the Lord standing in the road with the sword drawn, and he knelt and bowed down to the ground. But the angel of the Lord said to him, why have you beaten your donkey these 3 times? I have come as an adversary because this rash journey of yours is against my will. When the donkey saw me, she turned away from me these 3 times. If she had not turned away from me, you are the one I would have killed, though I would have spared her. So the angel of the Lord is basically saying, if your donkey would have continued on its path and, like, confronted me, I would have killed you and left the donkey alive. But because the donkey, steered clear and spared your life, essentially saved your life, yet you still beat her. And then it says, then Balaam said to the angel of the Lord, I have sinned, yet I did not know that you took up a position to oppose my journey. Since it has displeased you, I will go back home. But the angel of the Lord said to Balaam, go with the men, but you may say only what I tell you. So Balaam went on with the princes of Balak, and when Balak heard that Balaam was coming, he went out to meet him. And Balak said to Balaam, did I not send an urgent summons to you? Why did you not come to me? Did you think I could not reward you? And Balaam answers Balak. Balak is the one that's asking for the Israelites to be cursed. Just a reminder. And then Balaam answers him, and he says, well, I have come to you after all, but what power have I to say anything? I can speak only what God puts in my mouth. Then Balaam went with Balak, and they came to Kiriath Huzoth. Here Balak sacrificed oxen and sheep, and sent portions to Balaam and to the princes who were with him. And then the last part of this chapter is the first oracle, and it basically says, the next morning Balak took Balaam up on Bamoth Baal, and from there he could see some of the people. And that's where the chapter ends. So I don't know what's going to happen with Balaam in this next chapter, but a very interesting chapter 22, honestly, because it's like the first chapter that we haven't been following the Israelites. But it's 6:41. My reading actually took a bit longer than I expected today, but that's okay. But what I do need to do is go take out all the trash and get ready for the gym, because as soon as I get a car, I should go to try and be back home as soon as possible, because I still need to go to HEB to get potatoes. And I think that's it. So yes, I will see y'all when I'm at home eating my last meal. Goodbye. Okay, I really need a haircut, but it's 12:30 probably right now, and I had my last meal for the day, and I was this close to just like not making my meal for tomorrow, not making like this big meal, but I feel like I've just been not letting myself go, but letting myself go in a way. But so I obviously decided not to do that, and I made my meal for tomorrow, and I made my meal for today. Since I got to the gym kind of late, I didn't get to stretch, so I'll probably stretch just in my room, because I had to go to HEB, and I got just potatoes, spinach, and like dark chocolate. So anyways, here's the macros for this meal, since it's the last meal, and I'll show y'all. Alright guys, so I'm editing my video, and I realized that I accidentally stopped recording when I dropped my camera, so there is no picture for that meal, unfortunately. And there's no outro either, so here's the outro in the future. Here's the macros for the day. And that's it, so thank you for watching. Like if you want, comment if you want, subscribe if you want. And I'll see y'all today for day 66. Yes. Goodbye.